Blind Pew here. This is my 4th transmission investigating alien activity in the Pleiades sector. If you have missed previous transmissions, I highly recommend clicking on the link appearing now. As you will know from my last transmission, I am currently at Daniel's progress in the Maya system. Recapping where the investigation has got to so far. We know 1. Apparently alien artifacts are appearing in systems forming a shell of diameter 130 light years around the Pleiades. 2. Those alien artifacts all point to the star in the Merope system in the Pleiades. 3. In Merope and other systems, another apparently alien structure, the large barnacle, has been found. 4. The large barnacle grows a highly advanced metal alloy structure which is technologically superior to anything humanity is known to be capable of. 5. There are unknown corporations, factions or powers observing developments and seemingly willing to do anything to stop research into this area, including abduction, destruction and assassination. Some have speculated that this may be the Kane Massey Corporation which we saw printed on the yellow crates at the crash site I investigated last transmission, although as yet that remains unproven. 6. The alien artifacts are able to self-repair by taking metal from surrounding objects. By doing so in some of the orbital space stations, this has caused technological issues in those stations. The metal alloys found at the large barnacle sites have been found to alleviate these problems. In this transmission we will quickly investigate the surface of this planet and then we will investigate the strange logo, or mark that was seen on the large barnacles. It's not apparent at the moment, but for a fleeting instant I am regularly picking up a low-flying eagle ship of some sort. But as soon as I spot it, it is gone. Most strange. Aha. What is this? Looks like some sort of crashed probe or satellite. The sentry is getting a bit official on me. Let's see if we can get closer without it causing problems. Yes, we can. No, we can't. Does that answer your question, sentry? Okay, let's scan the data point within the crashed probe. Doesn't look like anything particularly connected with the alien activity, although one might ask why there is a probe so close to Obsidian Orbital. What was its objective? Data point intel for the Alliance. Nothing special, I assume. Back to the ship, which I have recalled since I am now some way from Daniel's progress itself. Okay. We are now going to head towards Barnard's loop to investigate its very close resemblance to the mark on the large barnacle. Here. So, we are getting a bit closer to Barnard's loop now. We will stop at the Head Nebula en route, which is a much smaller blue-pink nebula ahead. My though is that the barnacle logo may be Barnard's loop as seen from the home of the Barnacles. So if we can find a location where Barnard's loop more closely resembles the logo, we may find something. And slowly we edge forward. It's quite a way out here. I'm just about at the Head Nebula now and I've detected a signal source which I am dropping into now. Some sort of wreckage 5 copied escape pods. I must see if I can rescue these poor souls and return them to civilization. Right then, let's pick the first one up. Slow and careful. That's it. Let's pretend that didn't happen, horrendous though it was. Even slower and even more carefully. There we go. Let's pick the others up. Which Head Nebula looming in the background there? Deep purple in coloration, looks like it was some sort of imperial ship. What was it doing all the way out here, I wonder? It is not a typical exploration vessel. Okay, we've reached the Head Nebula now. As you can see, Barnard's loop does look somewhat like the Barnacle logo from here, at least the top and middle of it. It does however appear to be missing the 2 marks at the bottom of the logo. Perhaps this is not the right location. And there you see the Head Nebula. I'm going to check a number of planets in this vicinity for any evidence of large barnacles. That one seems as good as any. So, I've checked a number of planets in this sector and have not found evidence of any larger barnacles. I've been searching this planet for some time and have not found anything yet. Perhaps I've got this wrong. This is not dissimilar to the sort of place that barnacles have been found in the Pleiades, but I'm just not seeing any here. Nope, still nothing. I think that I will call it a day and try another location. Okay, we are some way on from the Head now. Much closer to Barnard's loop, but we are still missing anything in this view that would correspond to the marks at the bottom of the Barnacle logo. My plan now is to head up to the Trapezium sector as I have targeted. By moving at a more acute angle to Barnard's loop, I am wondering if some of the nebula currently appearing at the center of the loop will then appear towards the bottom, perhaps looking more like the marks at the bottom of the Barnacle logo. That may then give us a clue to the place that these barnacles originate. Okay, getting closer to the Trapezium sector now. Still nothing appearing at the bottom of the Barnard's loop like in the Barnacle logo. Okay. Very close now. So close that the loop is bigger than the area I can view out of the cockpit. I'm beginning to make out the Head Nebula beyond the center of Barnard's loop and the Flame Nebula in bright orange there. So, I'm just about at the Trapezium sector now and at quite an acute angle to Barnard's loop. This looks a bit more like the Barnacle logo from this angle, but not quite right. I'm still not happy that I'm seeing anything that could represent the marks at the bottom of the Barnacle logo. So, Barnard's loop in its deep red color, and the contrasting blue of the Messier 78 Nebula. My aim had been to get into that nebula, but it seems to have no systems within it at all. Now we are here, I'll start checking for evidence of large barnacles. Ahead we can see some sort of canyon network with a slightly different coloration to the planet's surface. If this were in the Pleiades, that would be prime barnacle hunting territory. Let's get in there. Well, I've been looking for a while now. Let's be honest. It's not looking promising. No good. Let's take a look further over there. Well, I've searched a number of planets and moons in this location and I've seen no sign of barnacles or alien activity. Also, Barnard's loop as seen from these locations just does not seem a close enough match to the logo on the barnacle itself. Perhaps this trip was a fool's errand. However, I've had a thought. It's been noted that the unknown artifacts were transmitting a form of Morse code. Morse code is a distinctly human communication form. Could there be a connection between these alien activities and humans? A long time ago, before faster than light travel was invented, around the beginning of the 24th century, many colonial ships headed out to colonize the stars. They were called generation ships because, traveling at sublight speeds, they would take many generations to reach their destinations. Let's imagine that such a ship left Sol and traveled to the Pleiades. Let's imagine that they developed the barnacles using some alien technology they found. We do not see evidence of such a generation ship in the Pleiades, so let's imagine it continued its journey on a straight line, starting at Sol, passing through the Pleiades, and carrying on. If we could follow that line we might find that it passed through another nebula and find further evidence there. With this in mind, I lined up the galactic map and followed a straight line from Sol to the Pleiades. There. I then continued on that straight line and did find something interesting. NGC 1333. Directly on the path of that line is this very dense strip of stars, strangely exactly on the line I was talking about. And in the middle of that line of stars is the small nebula NGC 1333. And what is more, Barnard's loop as seen from this location, here, does look like the barnacle logo, with a nebula towards the bottom just like in the logo. This is just too strange to be coincidence. I've decided to immediately stop all my research at Barnard's loop and to head directly to NGC 1333. It's quite a way, but I've just got to take a look at the place now. Okay, we are now approaching our destination. Above us you can see the California Nebula with its distinct orange-brown color. If you look carefully you should also be able to see a tiny yellow nebula. There. That is our destination. Just stopping to scoop a bit of fuel. Okay, one more jump to go. I'm actually going to jump to this blue star just outside the nebula. It seems unusual as the only blue star in the region. The very creatively named 2MASS J0329 197743 124572. Off we go. And we've arrived. It's a bright one. Let's scan it to see what type of star it is. Firing off a system scan. Everyone okay back there? Yes, as I thought, Class B, just like in the Pleiades. And look at this system. A lot of ringed gas giants and quite a few moons to check. Definitely feels similar to the Pleiades. Okay. Heading to the first place I am going to check. Aha. Look beyond that planet and you can see the NGC 1333 nebula which sits next door to this system. Yes, as I was saying, we will take a look at the moon to this ringed gas giant. The moon itself just sits on the edge of the ring. Here we go. Just scanning it now. NGC 1333 nebula beyond again. Looks to have quite a wide variety of surface features then. Certainly has the chasms and canyons barnacles are often found in.
Orbital flight engaged.
Pleiade mode engaged. And I'm done. These winding canyon ahead look like an interesting place to start. Certainly, this place has a very particular feel to it. Wouldn't you know it? I've only just got here and there is a breaking news story on Galnet. Take a listen.
Authorities in the Maya system have reported that Professor Ishmael Palin, the scientist conducting research into the unknown artifacts, has disappeared. The professor recently announced plans to set up an independent research outpost on the planet Maya B1 Ba, but it has now been confirmed that the ship carrying Palin and his team did not reach its destination. Professor Palin's ship transmitted a status report not long after it left Obsidian Orbital, but since then no further reports have been received. All attempts to contact the vessel have been unsuccessful. A search is underway, however, and I am confident we will soon find some indicator of what has happened to Professor Palin and his team.
I wouldn't be so sure. I need to finish up here as soon as possible and get back to Maya to see what is going on. But that will have to wait until my next transmission. Good luck, commanders. And I'll see you out there. Very oddly, there are only two things that my scanner is picking up in the crash site. One is the cargo racks, but the other is these yellow crates. And even more strangely, only the yellow crates, not these red ones. If we look at the crates, we can see that they bear the company name Kane Massey on one side. I can't make out what this smaller text says. The other side shows some sort of powered screen indicating that the cases themselves are powered. What could they contain? I can't find any way to open them or recover them.